Welcome back, folks. I'm Jake Ellenbogen, and today we're going to be talking about Jared Verse because unlike last year when Kobe Turner was snubbed from Defensive Rookie of the Year, Jared Verse did get this award, and I'm going to explain why not only did he deserve this award, he had an argument to win this thing unanimously. Before I dive into that, though, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Be sure to follow me on all social media at JKBogan, including Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Kick. And in addition to that, just want to let you guys know that today's sponsor is BetUS, and we're right around the corner. So if you're looking for a sports book for the big game on Sunday, be sure to check out BetUS. YouTube 150 is the promo code. You're going to get a 150% bonus match on your first deposit and 125% on your next two deposits using that code YouTube 150. As always, be sure to bet responsibly and definitely be sure to check out BetUS. All right, guys. So Jared Verse is coming off a tremendous rookie season. Okay. Just absolutely insane. I didn't quite realize the magnitude of this, and I'm going to explain it to you. Now, it's hard to really decide how good someone is in the run defense department, if you will. There's not really stats to fully support that. I guess run stop percentage, but I feel like a good idea as far as an outside linebacker, a good idea is pressures and win rate. And so I just went through every single piece of archived information from PFF in their kind of data set. Every single year I could, all the way back to 2006. All right, just so you know. And I could not believe what I found. So get this. Jared Verse had the second most pressures for a defensive rookie, and pressures on the quarterback. You guys know what pressures are. I would hope by now. I talk about them a lot, so I'm not going to explain that. But second most pressures by a defensive rookie dating back to 2006. Wild, right? Who was ahead of him, you might ask? Nick Bosa. I have the whole list here, actually, itemized. Nick Bosa with 80. Jared Verse had 77 this past year. Micah Parsons is in third with 67 back in 2021. How about Aldon Smith? Remember him, another 49er pass rusher, 64 in 2011 in fourth place. You got three tied for fifth. Will Anderson, who won last year's Defensive Rookie of the Year with 59. Carl Lawson with 59 in 2017, and Joey Bosa with 59 in 2016. In addition to that, you have guys that are tied for top 8. Cam'Rion Wembley, 57. That's going back to 2006. Bradley Chubb, 57, 2018. Khalil Mack, 54 in 2014. Aaron Donald won the Defensive Rookie of the Year, and rightfully so. But Khalil Mack did have a very good year that year. Aiden Hutchinson, 53 in 2022. Leonard Williams, 52 in 2015. Clay Matthews, 49 in 2009. Chandler Jones, 43 in 2012. You have Ndamukong Suh, 41 in 2010. Chase Young, 40 in 2020. Gaines Adams, 39 in 2007. Kawan Short, 36 in 2013, and Cedric Ellis, 34 in 2008. That's 19 names. 19. And Jared Verse is second since 2006. Remarkable, right? Oh, it gets better. So his win rate, according to PFF, a 19.6. Understand this. That is higher than every single name except for Micah Parsons with 21.7. What Jared Verse just did this year is absolutely incredible. And the only reason he didn't win it, he didn't get any Defensive Player of the Year recognition, like he did not get one vote, not even a fifth place vote. The reason is because he had 4.5 sacks. And that's probably the reason why he wasn't unanimous, although it's hard to be unanimous, to be fair. And I don't want to take anything away from Quinion Mitchell. I think he had a great year. Braden Fisk had a great year. Cooper DeJean, Chop Robinson, they all had great years. Jared Verse was on another level. Jared Verse finished with 427 votes over Quinion Mitchell's 239. Braden Fisk came in with 96. Cooper DeJean came in with 91. Chop Robinson with 75. Edgerrin Cooper had 30. And then for some reason, Tarheeb Steele, Kalen Bullock, Mikey Sanders Steele all had a first place vote. Kamari Lassiter had 13. They also had more than Kamari Lassiter, but Lassiter had 13 votes. Nate Wiggins had 7. Tavondre Sweat had 5. Latu had 5. Malik Mustafa had 2. Terrion Arnold had 1. And Tyke Smith had 1. Jared Verse had 427 votes. 37 first place. He had 37 first place. Quinion Mitchell had 9. Braden Fisk got a first place vote. But then you got guys like Tarheeb Steele, Kalen Bullock, and Mikey Sanders Steele, which I'm a little confused with, but it is what it is. Verse had 10 second place votes. He had 2 third place votes, and he had a 5th place vote. I'm sorry, anyone who put him in the 5th place probably should lose their vote. Like, I don't understand how these people get a vote. If you look at Jared Verse, I mean, what I just list, it's insane, guys. It's insane. You either care only about sacks or you're open-minded. It really comes down to that. If you only look at the sacks, okay, Jared Verse landed 4.5. But 77 pressures? Nick Bosa had 80. That's the most since 2006. Obviously, I'd go back further, but I can't. There's no record of pressures after 2006. So Nick Bosa, gaudy numbers. But Nick Bosa, with his 80 pressures, keep this in mind, his win rate was actually only 13.4%, whereas Jared Verse's was 19.6%. And the thing about Jared Verse, unlike some of these other guys, the whole year he was among the top pass rushers in pressures and win rate. And that brings me to my last point here, and why I think people need to start to understand what we're dealing with here. This is not just, oh, he had a really good year. No. Jared Verse, as a rookie, went into the postseason, pushed his stats all the way up. He finished the season. By the way, he had 12 pressures in the last 2 games of his career. Well, last 2 games of the season. Last 2 games of his career. No, he's going to have a long career. Last 2 games of the season, in the playoffs, he had 12 pressures. If you put together the postseason and the regular season, Jared Verse finished with 89 pressures. That is the most in the NFL. That means if Chris Jones does not get 5, he's currently at 85. If he gets 4, okay, he ties him. If Chris Jones does not get 5 pressures in the Super Bowl, Jared Verse finished his rookie season with the combined season, with regular season and postseason numbers, having more pressures than anybody in the NFL. And mind you, he did not get 1 Defensive Player of the Year vote. Not 1. Who cares, though? Because, to be honest with you, he's going to learn how to sack the quarterback at the NFL level. He's going to get better. And he's already so freaking good. And he can win. And he can just bully guys. His bull rush actually translated to the next level on the grandest scale. And so I just think if you're a Rams fan, NFL Honors was kind of upsetting because Torrey Holt. And you kind of just assumed Verse was going to win it. But, man, after going through this, I got to tell you, they should have had Kobe Turner win it last year. Jared Verse, the argument would have been more so to be unanimous. What he was able to do this year is incredible. And just think for the future, because I think Braden Fisk is just scratching the surface. I think Jared Verse is just scratching the surface of what he can become. Those guys were getting better as the season went on. And I just think that you get a guy like Verse. I understand he's not Aaron Donald, but he could be Myles Garrett. He could be somebody like that. And so it's time to start realizing what the Rams have. And I'm just telling you right now, you can't waste these years. You cannot waste these years. The cost effectiveness of Jared Verse, this guy is a $25 to $30 million pass rusher as it stands right now, production wise, that you're getting on less than a $4 million deal. Just keep that in mind. Less than $4 million this year. You have to make the most of it. What they have in him is just incredible. He is different. And you can look through the list. Now, I mean, I mentioned it, Aldon Smith and Chandler Jones and Kawan Short. I mentioned like guys that kind of fell off in their career. But if for the most part, when you look at this list, Will Anderson, Aiden Hutchinson, Micah Parsons, Chase Young, who, by the way, had a really good year this year, Nick Bosa, Bradley Chubb, Carl Lawson's kind of fallen off because of the injuries, Joey Bosa, Leonard Williams, Khalil Mack. I mean, all these guys, Ndamukong Suh, Clay Matthews, these aren't one-year wonders. That's what I'm getting at. Everyone is saying in the NFC West right now, when they thought Aaron Donald was gone, everyone right now is thinking to themselves like, oh shit, they really got another one. And they knew that, but not this magnitude. This is crazy. Excellent job by the Rams because they could have tried to move up. I mean, Sean Payton, I don't know if you saw that story. He was so convinced, he kept begging Jay Glazer to tell him that the Rams weren't trading up. He was so obsessed with the fact that he felt Sean McVay and the Rams were going to trade up and steal Bo Nix from him. And he kept begging Jay Glazer to the point where Jay Glazer reaches out to McVay and asks him himself. And McVay said, yeah, you could tell Sean we're not taking him. Like, this is what I'm talking about. You tried to get, and keep in mind, they tried to trade up for two guys. Byron Murphy after the fact, but they were really keen on going after Brock Bowers. That's who they wanted. And guess what? Brock Bowers did not win Offensive Rookie of the Year because he was going up against a guy that, let's be honest, Jaden Daniels is just different. Like, so is Brock Bowers, but Jaden Daniels is playing the most important position in the game, and he took a team that was picking second to the NFC title game. So it's hard to win that. But the point I'm making here is that they knew what they were doing. Whether they got Brock Bowers via trade up or they got Jared Verse, they were going to end up with a great player. And you can just tell the way that, and you can't take it for granted either, because it's easy to say, oh, first round pick, that's easy. No, it's not. No matter, and this is the real thing here. This is why I want you to ponder for a sec. At pick 19, the Rams stayed pat. The Rams haven't had great success at pick 19 in their history. They've only had 2 picks. But the thing I found so fascinating to me is that the way Verse played this year, I hate to be that guy, but the Vikings had the 17th pick. They took J.J. McCarthy earlier and had another pick, and they actually passed on Verse for the same position and took Dallas Turner. And understand this. If I was at 19, I may have gotten Chop Robinson, which, by the way, Chop Robinson had a great year. Just a little bit different as far as a pass rusher, as far as a defender. Jared Verse can play every down. They didn't use Chop on every down. They used him mainly as a pass rush specialist. But either way, point being, those two are 1-2 for me. The point being, Dallas Turner I didn't like at all. And the Vikings know, while Dallas Turner's younger and maybe he has a higher ceiling, if you can even say that, after this type of season, like, Dallas Turner is never going to match up to Jared Verse. That's the problem. That's why it's such a big deal that he fell into the Rams' lap. And you look at the draft, and well, I got to pull it up right now because it's just wild to me. Because even at the time, this isn't just a, hindsight's 2020 moment. Hindsight's 2020 moment. No. The Rams tried to go up to get Brock Bowers, who was picked 13th, and no one would move down. The Jets wouldn't move down. The Raiders took him there. Yeah. Then they tried to move up and get Byron Murphy. He goes 16th. Dallas Turner goes after him. Amarius Mims goes after him. And then Jared Verse goes at 19. Laiatu Latu, same position, goes 15th with all of the neck issues that he had. I mean, the medical red flags were there. Jared Verse went 19th. Chop Robinson went 21st. Quinion Mitchell went 22nd. And then you had Braden Fisk, who the Rams traded up to get, who ends up in the third place vote, going 39th overall in the second round. If you look, it's kind of interesting, right? Defensive Rookie of the Year, you had the 19th pick, the 22nd pick, and the 39th pick. Those were your highest. Now, there wasn't a defensive player taken until, I believe, Laiatu Latu at 15th. That was the first defensive player taken. But Byron Murphy had a down year. Laiatu Latu didn't have the best year. He wasn't bad, but it wasn't on the level of the other guy. Dallas Turner, definitely kind of down year. And then Jared Verse was taken. Think about that. 1, 2, 3 defensive players were taken before Jared Verse. Jared Verse fell to 19th. I remember seeing a mock draft 2 months, maybe a month before the draft, where Jared Verse went 3rd overall. And they got him at 19th. Highly productive in college. And now he's Defensive Rookie of the Year. Big shout out to Jared Verse. Huge shoes to fill. But you know what? This dude never batted an eye. And that's the thing that gets me so excited about this team and this defense and Jared Verse and Braden Fisk is that they knew these were big shoes to fill. They said, bring it on. When they got to the playoffs, they didn't fold like rookies. They stepped up and looked like 10-year vets, key cornerstone pieces, guys that had been there before. And that is a scary thing for the rest of the league because, man, they've already felt the momentum. They've already felt the moment. They've been in the moment. They've lived the moment. They have succeeded in the moment. Say what you will, the Rams are the better team on that field against the Eagles. They should be playing on Sunday. I'm going to say it again and again and again, but it's true. And a big reason for that is because that defense and that pass rush and the fact that they were able to have 43 pressures on Sam Darnold, which I've never even seen. That's just insane. And they got to Jalen Hurts. And Jared Verse backed up the talk he had. Very rare does that happen where you come out and you say something that's bulletin board material like, I hate the Eagles fans, I just don't like them, whatever. And then you come out and you really show yourself out. And the rest of the Eagles fans really respected him after that because he backed his, talk up. This guy's different, and he's not going anywhere. So buckle up. It's going to be a fun ride to go from Aaron Donald to Jared Verse. Well, it's like going from Marshall Faulk to Steven Jackson, right? I mean, that's what happened. They got Steven Jackson, kind of fell in their lap, a guy that probably should have gone earlier out of Oregon State. And they were able to kind of just move from Marshall Faulk and, into Steven Jackson. Now, Donald is gone. Like he wasn't there with Verse. But the fact that they got Verse, Fisk, Kobe Turner, and Byron Young up front, that's disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting. So I know it's been a little tough for Rams fans, for you guys, because, I mean, I feel it too. You have all the stuff that's going on with Kupp and Stafford and knowing you should be in the Super Bowl and just all that, and Torrey Holt. But enjoy this because you're not celebrating just the accolade itself. You're not even just celebrating the year. You're celebrating the fact that the Rams absolutely freaking nailed the 19th overall pick in the draft, and no one can take that away from them. And he has 5 years. He's going to be a Ram for a long time because the Rams, did they luck out? Maybe. But at the end of the day, they just took the best player available. Verse is special, man, and I cannot wait to see how his career unfolds. But that's going to do it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. If you did, be sure to check out BetUS. Of course, if you're looking for a sports book this Sunday, definitely check out BetUS. Again, YouTube 150 is the code. Be sure to bet responsibly and get those number 8 jerseys. He's not going anywhere, and he's only going higher up. Next year, let's see if he gets to 100 pressures, right? That's too much to ask. But either way, I'm very excited about his future. So again, I'll see you guys soon, and you guys take care. Later, folks. All right, guys, just a quick update here. The lounge, which I've told you guys about after every single video, we are now at 6 videos. We have almost 700 subscribers. So if you haven't gotten in and checked out my new side project, definitely be sure to do that. Interviewing voice actors and athletes and entrepreneurs, musicians, all the good stuff there. Be sure to check it out. The link is in the description below. In case you guys haven't noticed, I do have a Discord channel for my community on this channel. And if you want to be a part of it, it is free. The link is in the description below. You can sign up. This is basically a 24/7 Rams channel, and we are almost at 1,100 members. So if you want to be a part of it, just hit the link in the description below.